probably a little controversial. What are your thoughts on Dave Ramsey? Do you disagree with him? That's it. Broad question. I think Dave Ramsey is amazing when it comes to, paying off debt. I was in debt at one point. I had over $110,000 in debt back in 2014, 2013, and I paid it off in 2016. I never used the Dave Ramsey method. I know they teach debt snowball, no matter the interest rates, no matter they go by the balances. I agree with them that the debt snowball is about psychology, right? When I paid off, I had 5 credit cards back then. And when I listed them from the smallest balance to the largest balance, I paid off the smallest balance first, next to the second balance, third, just kind of kept going. I had $47,000 in credit card debt back in 2013. And when I did that, it did carry I felt like there was a momentum going with me, and I managed to pay them off in about 16 months is how long it took me to pay off $47,000 in credit card debt. It felt really good, right? I kept going. I paid off my debt. I did do some comparisons between what he advises people to do. Warren Buffett, I do really look up to him. I listen to his shareholders meetings. Rest in peace to Charlie Munger. But I don't entirely disagree with Mr. Ramsey, but I do disagree with his investing process. I know he is very big on paying off your mortgage early. I view that as more of a low interest, right? If you ask me if a student loan is worth it, I would say no, heck no, right? Credit cards, heck no, right? You should never carry a balance over credit cards. I didn't know any better, but I know now. I've known that now for over 10 years, not to do that again. Personal loan, terrible. Car loan, it's probably the biggest wealth killer. I agree with him on that. I have a car that's been paid off for many years, and I'm never gonna take out another car loan ever again because of the depreciation value. It's stupid, right? When it comes to mortgage, I would disagree with him that I would still get a 30-year fixed mortgage rate and just, make the minimum payments. But when I'm in my 50s or maybe 45 after that, then I would start paying off my mortgage. Because by the time I retire, I do not want to have a mortgage on my balance sheet. I want that liability gone, right? But when I'm in my 20s, 30s, early 40s, I'm going to still invest the difference, right? I started doing that. So I became debt-free December 27, 2015. And when I paid off my debt, I just kind of all right, I need to build up my cash reserve. I believe Dave Ramsey teaches emergency fund, right? He says $1,000. A lot of people are like, $1,000 is not enough. I actually agree with him on that. I think you should do $1,000 to kind of keep your butt going. And I probably had about $1,500 when I started. So my checklist is on my website, firesidechat.com/resources, and you can look at it. But this is how I prioritize my debt, right? So I had a rainy day fund, about $1,500, because that was my car insurance deductible. My deductible was $500. My renter's insurance deductible was another $500. And then my other deductible totaled up was about $1,500, right? So that's the first thing I did. I put it in the cash savings account. I never touched it again. Number 2, 401k. Well, I had TSP back then, but I'll put 401k. 401k up to the employer match. That's it. Only up to the employer match, because that is guaranteed 100% return on my investment. So I did not want to miss that out. Okay. So that was 100% guarantee investment return. So I did that, right? Next one will be pay off high interest debt. Okay. So I didn't do the debt snowball method. I did the avalanche method, sort of. So I started with the highest interest rates I had. That was the credit cards. I had between 24 to 29%. The highest I had was 29.99%. And then when I grabbed those 5 credit cards, I listed my credit cards, smallest balance to the largest balance, because the interest rates were similar. The only exception I would say is if I had a payday loan that was 100%, 200%, 300% in interest, that would be the first thing I would pay off. The other thing is if I had any IRS debt would be the very first to go as well, not using the avalanche method or the snowball method, because the IRS could ruin your life, okay? So be careful with that if you have any tax debt. So once I paid off my credit cards, then I moved on to my car loan. I had 2 car loans. I sold them and then paid off the differences. I had a personal loan. I paid that off. That was from a divorce. And then next one was my TSP loan, which is known as the 401k loan. So I did that in the order, okay? Once that's all done, then the next step was to start investing. So you see that the first 3 steps It took me 2.5 years to get to step 4. That is the savings phase. So I was single at the time. So because that 6 months of expenses was the cushion that I needed between my savings and investments. So if you ever underestimate how much you need to save for emergency expenses, don't, because you need it, okay? So then, and then the next one was to max out HSA because of the quadruple tax advantages, and I can save taxes on it. Next one was max out Roth IRA. And then when my income started to go up, by 2017, I was in the private sector and I was making really good money with them. And I maxed out my 401k. And then when I maxed out my 401k, I did the after-tax 401k, which is also known as the mega backdoor Roth. And that allowed me to put 53,000, 54,000, and 55,000 into my 401k. It was sweet. And I did that because I had to catch up on my retirement, because I spent so many years of my adult life wasting on the first 3 steps. Okay, so I caught up on my retirement eventually. Then I moved on to funding the 529 plan, the UTMA. And then after that, I prioritized to do early retirement, which would be the taxable brokerage. And some people do the real estate, or for me, I like taxable brokerage account and I invested more, right? By the way, did you know that over 50% of Americans who make over $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck? So is it always an income problem or a spending problem? If you're having trouble figuring out your budget, I encourage you to download a budgeting app called YNAB. YNAB stands for You Need a Budget. That's right. Whether you make $50,000 a year or $300,000 a year, every one of you needs to create a budget to achieve financial independence. You need to give every dollar a job so that you can be more intentional with your savings and spending. You can get a free trial without any credit card information by using the link in the description below. And then you can keep going once you get there. But, and then the last step is pay off mortgage. I'm on step 10 right now, and I'm not touching my mortgage until I'm in my 50s. That's probably where I disagree with, Dave Ramsey there. But what he's doing for the community, I think it's great. I think what he's teaching people to manage their money better, pay off their debt. Yeah, I think student loans are dumb. Car loans are dumb. Personal loans are dumb. I would never do it again. Take out those loans again. I would never carry a credit card balance month over month again. I've done videos on HELOC. I would never take out a HELOC. I would never take out a home equity loan, but I will take out a mortgage debt because I do see that how home prices will continue to go up. You'll continue to build equity in a home, and that debt just continues to get cheaper and cheaper, right? It does get cheaper and cheaper because for one, you're gonna have your equity going like this, and then your debt, supposed to be red, is going down, right? It keeps going down in debt. And I tested this out, and I made a video about this. Should I pay off my mortgage early or just keep paying? Because now, after 8 years of investing, my investments have more than how much I owe in my mortgage. I could pay off my mortgage today if I want to, but I choose not to because my interest rates are low and the equity. Let me write this down. I told you my handwriting is terrible. I'm sorry. That says equity on there. Promise. And my debt, that looks better, just kind of goes in split ways, right? So that's why I think it's okay to open it to keep your mortgage until I'm in my early 50s. Then I'm gonna have a plan to pay off my mortgage, my normal retirement age. So really good question, man. I really dove deep into that between Dave Ramsey and I'm not by any means comparing Dave Ramsey and me. He's been doing this for decades, right? I appreciate his fundamentals. I appreciate his principle. He has never once changed his mind about debt. I applaud him. He hates debt. I hate him too. But mortgage would be the only one that I would disagree with him. That's it. Great question.